I know many incels who hate Chads and blame them for being lonely, but I'm sorry, incels, I love Chads. As a middle-aged virgin who will be almost 50 years old, I want to read a statement that declares my fondness for living vicariously through Chads and how this makes me different from the incels who find Chads to be the moral villain in their perceived sexual oppression. So here's my written statement, and it reads: I am not sexually attracted to Chads, but Chads are men I live vicariously through in my sex fantasies with attractive women. Even if I were a Chad, I still would fantasize about using another Chad's attractive physique as a magnet for women I lust for. Now, why do I love Chads? It's simple. Their bodies are a lust magnet for groups of women. Again, their bodies are a lust magnet for groups of women. These are the women I thirst over, and I fantasize thirsting for me with that Chadish body. It is perfectly reciprocal and symmetrical. That is not to say that I could not fantasize being a Joe or even myself seducing these women. But there's something about having a male body that instantly generates lust within them. Every attractive woman I fantasize about, I live through a Chad's physique. Now, here's another reason I love Chads. I can never be a Chad just like a rock star cannot be every rock star. So it has nothing to do with me hating my body. It has nothing to do with me feeling less than Chads. But it has everything to do with me being unable to have every Chad's face and body. So even if I were one Chad, I could not be every Chad. Many incels don't like Chads. Some of them think they are taking away women who they think they can be potentially with. Since I never looked at sexual desire as a need like food, shelter, and clothing, I never was jealous of Chads. Chads are having fun with women I dream about. This fantasy is not something I need, but it's definitely something I want. And I want to further reiterate what I just read. Folks, as a middle-aged virgin, my sex fantasy is to have a body that women lust for instantly. Now, many women will say, well, that's just superficial. Why don't you care about intelligence? And why don't you care about being a good person? Or why don't you care about being wise? Men are already valued for all those things. I already emulate men who have those things. I already value men for those things. There's Einstein. There is Barack Obama. There are great wise men in ancient stories. There are brilliant chess players. There's plenty of examples of men being intellectualized, men being perceived as wise, men being perceived for their inner beauty. But how many examples of men do you see being lusted for their physical body? Not many. So that's why I want to be a Chad. That's why I fantasize about being a Chad. So it has nothing to do with me having low intellectual self-esteem. As a matter of fact, I have high intellectual self-esteem. I like still my body being craved by women I also crave. It's perfectly logical.